I don't remember what song I'm playing. Whatever. Mm-hmm.
Thought you had some loyalty. What guess I thought wrong. to be in a band or something.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
They were that good. They toured and stuff.
Yeah, they used to call him Sleazy G or something. I don't get it. The Georgezilla Podcast.
All right. Man, I've been practicing my songs. Well, not my songs. I've been practicing those songs for a couple weeks now. That's an old band that I was in called The Still Life, and man, that was back in like 2011. It's a long time ago, but it was probably the last band that I was in, and it was one of like the last attempts to do anything with music. We had all been I had been in bands with the singer before, and then I had left that band, Victory Within, and then a bunch of guys joined. They continued with Victory Within, and they were actually really good. I liked a lot of the stuff, and a lot of the stuff was their songs that me and the old guitarist wrote. So I was like a little bitter about it, but I was like, they made them a lot better. But then we had all been in, our metal bands, screamo bands, death metal bands and stuff. And we just told ourselves, this is going to be it. This is our last attempt. And kind of like no gloves, nothing, so to speak, meaning like we're just going to do whatever. And we were trying to be like a mix between, it was like a weird mix because it didn't really turn out the way we wanted, but it was very catchy, like pop punk. It was kind of like a mix between 4 Year Strong at our most aggressive state. We had like our breakdowns in, easycore, just like all those bands. And then it had a mix between that and I'd say, let's see, I'd say like a little Bayside, which is kind of strange. Our singer, his voice was, it is what it is, so I can't really compare it to anything. And kind of like Newfound Glory, things like that. I mean, we just put whatever we could, whatever little secrets and little sprinkles we can put on, And actually, the band took traction pretty quick, and we got signed, and it was an indie label. Got signed, booking agent, and all that good stuff, and yeah, man, we didn't work out. So, but yeah, those songs are super fun to play still, and I had some difficult relearning some of the parts, and I've also been playing a lot of Orangeburg Massacre. That was like one of my first real bands that I was in, and it was like Norma Jean, Converge, like Poison the Well, a lot of stuff. I've been playing that, and that's been really difficult. And I think I said it in another video. I was like, I don't know how I played that stuff. I do miss the guitar that I had when I recorded the EP for that band. I had a Gibson Gothic Les Paul. It was the first iteration of the Gothic Les Paul. And, whatever. I just liked it because it was like a black satin, and it looks sexy. And I put an EMG 81 in the bridge. Oh my God, I love that guitar. And we were in drop C, CGC F80. Yeah, I miss that guitar a lot. Anyways, so I was playing my newest guitar today, and that's my ESP. What is it called? I don't even know what it's called, but it looks like a Fender, like Jaguar, I guess. Is that what it? I don't know. What is it again? Yeah, it's the XJ1. I can't remember the name. That is one of my... out of all the guitars that I have now, that's like my baby now. it The weight on that thing, it reminds me of a Gibson. I had a black custom Les Paul back in the day. That thing was a backbreaker. This is pretty damn close to being a backbreaker. It's a heavy ass guitar. Let me grab it. I finally put my strap locks on. I just don't like doing stuff like that. This little meticulous shit. Don't like it. I ended up doing it. Damn, this thing fucking sings though. And that's Fishman. It's Fishman pickup in the bridge, and it's got like 2 voices. And it's pretty fucking sick, dude. I love this guitar. Of course, you know, we got the fucking, if I can get it, the strap locks. We got the fucking locking tuners and, you know, all that good stuff. That's fucking dope. Love this guitar. One of my favorite things about like not being in a band is that when I was in bands before, every guitar that I would have, I would get it set up to whatever tuning I was at. So every band I've been in has pretty much been like drop C or C sharp or something like that. So it's been pretty much the same thing. But usually I just have everything to C. And with this guitar, I was gonna I was gonna get it set up to B, and you know, I just wanted to have this brutal looking guitar and have it just fucking, you know, just like, you know, just fucking boom, you know, just fucking, you know, just hit you like that. And it is that guitar, you know, but since I'm not in a band, the really cool thing that I just do is I just have it to drop D. You know, I'm just dropping the heavy string, the heavy E, and if I want to play anything, I just transpose it on Neural DSP. It's awesome. And, you know, I don't know how it would sound live, to be honest. I have no idea if it's going to be like a delay or if it's going to, you know, not sound like the actual tuning. But as far as these recordings, it does the job. If I ever joined a band again, of course I'd get all my guitars set up to whatever they're tuned to, but I don't feel like it. And I guess I don't have to. Yeah. The guitar that I used for the still life recording, funny story, is I was in between bands when I had joined the still life, and I was like, I had so many periods in my life where I just quit playing, whether I was like, if I had a girlfriend or something, or, you know, whatever the case was. And that was one of the cases. I was living in Long Beach, and I remember I wasn't playing any bands. I sure wished I did. I was still going to shows and all that stuff. And I remember I was dating someone, but the singer of the Still Life had contacted me, and he was a singer from Victory Within, and he's just like, hey man, like we need a bass player if you want to play, you know. And he just threw it out there. You know, I'm not a bass player. I'm not knocking it, even though all my memes on Instagram are knocking bass players. It's more of just like a funny thing to do. But yeah, I was like, yeah, I'll do it. So I showed up, and you know, I liked what I heard, and I didn't have a bass. I didn't have shit at that time. I think I had. No, I take that back. I had my Gibson Custom Les Paul, actually. I still had that, and that was it was in bad shape. I had already snapped the neck on it, and I know everyone's gonna be like, "What the fuck? You snapped the neck on a Gibson Custom Les Paul?" Yes, I did. I was stupid. I might still be a little stupid, but I used to flip my guitar around twice in my set when I was in this band. 10 seconds to go. I loved it. And these strap locks, dude, that thing did not move. It never even budged when I flipped it. And it was right before tour. And I remember we're all practicing the still life, not the still life, 10 seconds ago. We're all practicing. We had to leave on tour like that weekend. And I didn't flip my guitar during practices. It's just like no point. But since we were about to go on tour, I was like, you know what? Let me just practice it. Most stages we played, they weren't very big, but you know, I was always on stage right. I always had my spot. I would always look and just eyeball everything, see where my room was, because there's many times where I almost hit my singer with the guitar. But anyways, we get back to this. So I was practicing. Don't know what song it was, and it was in a garage. I just remember I had my rig behind me, and I was endorsed by Road Ready at the time, so I had big old Road Ready cases, and I had like a Mesa straight cab, and then I had my triple rectifier and some rack mount or something. So that shit was like behind me. I'm playing, and the part was coming up, and I went to go flip it, and it didn't come back, and I was like, oh fuck. And like, since we're playing loud and I wasn't wearing earplugs or anything, I didn't hear like a boom or anything, but I felt something. I'm like, oh shit. So I just remember everyone's face. They looked at me like, and then I just went like, oh, and I turned around. The fucking neck was like this, and it was broken off. I know that looked very suspicious. It was so bad. And I was pissed at first because, of course, it's my Gibson. And it was a real Gibson. This was not a fake. This wasn't a Chipson or whatever the fuck they call those. I was pissed. And then it went from being pissed to being like, oh, fuck, I don't have a backup guitar. What am I going to do for tour? And yeah, I ended up taking it to a Gibson approved shop, and they put it together. They did a shit job, man. There was a fucking still a line after, like where the crack was, and whatever. It is what it is. The intonation ever since that, it was fucked. Yeah, it looked good though. I got another I think I got another like 2 years out of that guitar. Fuck. So, anyways, the whole point of this is that I had that guitar when I was living in Long Beach, and when the singer texted me or something and was like, "Hey, dude, like, you want to play bass?" Sure. So I had that guitar. Yeah, I had my rig. I had all that stuff. I didn't obviously have a bass. They showed up. They sounded good, and they're like, "Yeah, if you want to play, sure," And I was like, "All right, whatever." And it was fun, whatever. I played bass in a couple bands before just to like fill in or whatever. Was it P City, Perdition City? I did a show. I learned their songs, their whole set in like a couple hours, and then went and played. But yeah, so I was stoked to play. The music was really good, and I just kept having these like thoughts and these little bum outs. I was like, man, like I wish I was playing guitar. And I ended up quitting. And nothing bad. I was like, hey, like I just want to play guitar. I'm sorry. Um, and I quit. And then I ended up selling that guitar. It was so hard. I just remember I needed money quick. Oh, dude, I don't even want to say this. I sold that thing. I think I paid like 2,500 for it, and I ended up getting $1,000 for it, and it was one of the saddest days. So I sold that guitar, and time goes by, and then the same singer hits me up and he goes, "Hey, dude, like I don't remember, like they kicked the drum. I don't remember. They're moving people around. They're like, do you want to play guitar?" And I said, "Fuck yeah," but I didn't have a guitar. So what I was saying, the guitar that I used to record and play for the first few months of being in the still life was the Schecter Diamond series, and I hated that guitar. Back then, like Schecter to me and a lot of people weren't very good. This is like 2010, 2011. I'm not saying they're not good. Aesthetically, they didn't look good. I didn't like them. Schecter now, my God, they've stepped up their game big time. There's so many Schecters that I would get now. But the one that I used back then, I didn't like it. It even had like these like metal silver Seymour Duncans on it. Ugh, I hated it. But it did its job. It played decent. I just did not like it. It just had diamonds all over it, but just not in a cool way. It just looked like a little girl like that had like a trapper keeper that put diamonds everywhere. That's what it looked like to me. Just I didn't like it. So that's what I use. And the amp that I use, guess what I use? I use a pod. So this is before all the neural DSPs and all that shit. This is a pod. I don't know what setting, what I did. I just plugged in and did it. Yeah, it was fun though. That was a very exciting band to be in. But we just played shows and built it up to just break up. So yeah. But anywho, I wanted to talk about a couple other things. I got a haircut. A little haircut. Okay, a little haircut. Um, I got my cat. If you can see it, I fucking hate doing this. Somewhere there it says Lagatha or something. Oh shit, a sign there. It says Lagatha. So I got that for her because that's like her fucking curb. It's like her corner, right? Not that way. Don't you fucking say it. It's not a corner like that, but that's where she guards for me. Also, you can see there's like a I can't fucking point. I'm dumb. So there's like a little amp down there, and it's like a scratch pad that she fucking loves. And also, I got her some marijuana. No, it's not. It's fucking cat stuff. So, this one, it is. Let's see, Calico Kush. It's so funny. It says stimulating. Okay, so this one is to stimulate, I guess. All right. Okay. This one is Stargazer Mix. And this one says relaxing. This one's Maui Wowie. And it says hybrid. Yeah, this is what they sell for my cat. I got this from PetSmart. Okay, this is not from the stores that I go to. But she likes this stuff. She doesn't get crazy though. She just like rolls around in it and has a good time. So I got her that. Why not? And also, since I'm trying to get healthy and lose weight and get rid of this and this and this, I bought some shoes. I was so against buying these because look at that fucking sole. Okay? So I used to wear, for this one job way back in the day, I used to wear Air Force Ones. I had to wear them as part of the uniform. I didn't like the Air Force Ones. They look good, but I didn't like them because the sole is so fucking big. And to me, it just seemed like I'm trying to like gain a couple inches, but I wasn't. These things, dude, like what? Dude. Anyways, these feel like I'm on clouds. This isn't an ad. These are probably the most comfortable shoes I've had ever. So yeah, I got these. I went for a couple walks and jogs with them, and one of these days I'll go for a run, but not today. Yeah, so I got that. That's pretty much what's going. And the last thing that I'm gonna say, so I had this idea that I really wanted to do, and I wanted to have it done by now. And I was gonna hire someone to film. I was gonna do all this stuff to have it done correctly. I don't think I'm going to do it anymore. I might do something similar or close to it, but the reason being is that my social media that I'm trying to use or boost, whatever, however you want to say it, is YouTube. Okay, I don't really. I mean, I'd like to get followers on every app that I'm on for my podcast, but YouTube can be a bitch. And the reason why I'm cussing and stuff now is because I'm not monetized, and they can demonetize you, I think, for cussing, but I'm not. So I'm just cussing this normal, I'm just talking normal. And I know down the road if I get monetized, I'm gonna have to bleep them out or just not. And there's certain things that I can't put on here. One of the things is the gardening stuff, and I'll probably put something up so you guys know what I'm talking about. So what I wanted to do was pretty much what they do on Hot Ones. If you watch Hot Ones, everybody knows Hot Ones, right? It's a podcast show that started on YouTube, and they get someone famous, and they have different wings with different hot sauces and different Scoville levels and how hot it is and this and that. And then they ask questions in between because it's a little difficult. And the last one's the last dab. Well, you can kind of see where I'm going at with that. The last dab. Just think about that. So I was going to do that, but have it do with gardening. So each wing would have been a dab, right? And then in between, I would have asked, I had someone in mind, and he said, he said he wants to do it. I can still do it. I just don't know how I'm going to do it on YouTube. But yeah, I was going to interview this musician or multiple musicians, and, we're going to be gardening together, and it'll be the same format as Hot Ones, but with gardening. And I'm not talking about gardening like my lawn, okay? It came to me out of nowhere, and I was setting everything up to do it, but I just think with the guidelines on YouTube, I would not be able to do it. Because I've watched so many videos about gardening, and some of them have to and at the very beginning of every video, they have to say some law. They have to read off these laws according to the state they're in or something, just so they're not getting in trouble and getting demonetized. I've seen other people's channels where they're getting demonetized and they're just showing smoke or I get it. I understand. I'm not gonna go on here and freaking smoke and stuff, and I wouldn't even drink. If I drank, I wouldn't do anything like that. But yeah, there's rules against all that, and I just think that I would do all this work to get this series going, and then YouTube be like, nope. So that's where I'm at, and I really thought it was a fucking great idea, but I don't want my videos to get demonetized before I can even make money. And yeah, so I don't know how I'm gonna do it. I might do it on a Patreon or something and host it somewhere else. I have no idea. So that's still in the works, but until then I'm gonna be doing this. I'm gonna be playing my guitar and just playing riffs. I want to do some vocal covers. But before I do that, I think I need to get a new microphone because it's done what it can do, but it's just not, it's not good for recording vocals. So yeah, I want to do some stuff like that, and also some guitar covers. But there's another thing I'm going to have some problems with is you can get knocked and copyright knocked or whatever they call it. I don't know, man. And there's ways to get around that as well, but I don't want to do that because it's I feel like I can put in all this work into these videos and whatever, and then YouTube's like, yeah, that's against our policy. So it looks like I got to read the policy a little better, right? That's it. That's it, man. Coffee was okay today. Yeah, that's it. That's the video. I'll be back very soon. Hopefully this all edits very good. I hope it does. So until then.
Look at this guy. I heard he used to be in a band or something.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. They were that big. They toured and stuff. Yeah, they used to call him Sleazy G or something. I don't get it. The Georgezilla Podcast.